So,
Yeah.
first off, John, how was Ghostbusters?
It was alright. It was better than I thought it would be. Like, the bar was set pretty low for me. Like, I thought it was gonna be dog shit.
Really?
But
Okay.
it wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad. Personally, myself, I walked in, right? I sat down in the theater with my Moe's burrito because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like this movie. But the minute I saw Gabe from The Office and then I saw Tywin Lannister, right? I was like, you know what? This is all right. I'm liking it.
Really, Tywin Lannister, you're like, this sold it for me.
Yeah. But then they
And
just
it's
went away.
Charles Dance, by the way.
Charles Dance.
I think so.
And they just went away and we had to focus on the main characters. And you know what? They are all right. This movie is okay.
Okay, I think the best parts of the movie were the characters themselves.
Yeah.
Like, the main Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Some shine better than others. Like, Kate McKinnon, she really stole the show.
Yeah, she really did. I think Kate McKinnon was so good.
Yeah, she was the funniest one.
Every scene she stole, right? Most reviewers found her to be like out of place. I didn't.
I don't think most reviewers did. Some people liked her. Some people thought, like, she had her good moments, but sometimes she was just kind of off.
Yeah,
But,
I thought Kate McKinnon was like smart
Yeah.
and like goofy.
Yeah, like, they need a crazy person in the group. I mean, they're hunting ghosts.
Every group has like the wild card. I thought she like outshined all the other characters,
Yeah.
basically.
What's her name? Leslie Jones. She was pretty funny
Yeah, I like
in
it.
it.
You know, I haven't seen much of Leslie Jones, but
yeah.
I felt like she just was just loud all the time. Is that her stick?
I guess that is. I mean,
I don't know.
I would-
The movie isn't really representative of her
yeah.
as an artist.
Yeah. And Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy, they kind of play the characters. They've been typecasted.
Melissa McCarthy
as-
usually plays the same character she's in, right?
Except in Bridesmaids.
I liked her in
Which,
Bridesmaids.
another movie by the director, Paul Feig.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that's mainly why I was excited. This, I wasn't, like, gonna be like, oh man, this is gonna be terrible. Like, completely.
But speaking of the
I had
characters,
hopes that Paul Feig would.
hey, what'd you think of like Chris
Sure, not
Hemsworth though?
Oh, yeah. Him and another character, which I'll get to in a second, that I didn't like.
Okay.
Chris Hemsworth character, he was the stupid secretary. Like, it was funny in the beginning. Like, he would do like really stupid stuff. Like, there's a thing when he was they had like a aquarium and there was like a fake fake telephone in there and he was like trying to grab it. And they're like, "Can you get the phone?" And he's like, "I can't. It's in the
Like
tank."
it was funny the first time, then it's just like hit you over the head.
Yeah,
in a way.
seriously, like they overdid it.
Like I thought Chris Hemsworth's introduction was like funny, right? The interview part was probably his best part of the character. The problem was his only traits were basically he was handsome and that he was dumb.
Yeah, and he had no brains basically.
And he was basically dimensional. Speaking of the other characters, I felt like all the characters were one-dimensional. We talked
All the
about
characters?
Yeah, basically all the characters. Like the villain.
Not all the characters. I mean,
Who'd you think? Except Kate McKinnon, I thought she was
I don't think they're
layered, but
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much like, backstory into them.
mm-hmm.
I don't think it needed it.
All right.
I wouldn't go as far to say they're completely
I'll give it a pass.
So, like, the main Ghostbusters, like, they weren't one-dimensional by any stretch of the imagination. You could argue that some characters were, like Chris Hemsworth's character, and the villain, like, he was kind of just this antisocial, stereotypical villain.
Kristen Wiig was basically the main characters of this movie. What did you think of that? Like, I felt she was.
I figured she was gonna be the main character.
Yeah, I felt she was like pretty bare bones, to be honest.
I mean, Kristen Wiig's funny. She was great on SNL.
Like, I like this movie. It's okay. It's just, it's like forgettable. Like,
The story itself was forgettable.
yeah, like the story's bare bones with the team having to stop a one-dimensional villain.
Like, yeah, like what's gonna happen in beginning to end.
Yeah, seriously.
Like how it's gonna play out. Especially if you've seen the first movie, the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. The only reason this movie is like standing out is because it's Ghostbusters. If it was original, maybe it would stand out.
Yeah, see, I feel like this movie would have worked better if it was like one of those movies that, like, usually it's like a small indie film where it's like an obvious homage to like a genre or a particular film. Like, if it was something like that where it's an homage to Ghostbusters without having to use the Ghostbusters brand, that would have been, I feel like that would have been better.
I will say this though about the movie: the third act where they fight all the ghosts was visually appealing. It's a good popcorn movie for the most part. It's entertaining.
I think it like overly relied on CGI. Though.
Yeah, it's gonna look dated in a few years if it will. Kate McKinnon has a scene where she's really,
Oh my god,
really cool.
That was so badass.
Yeah, I think Kate McKinnon was definitely the selling point of this movie. She needs to be in more movies. I like her. And this is like a bold prediction. What if Kate McKinnon just happened to be Captain Marvel? That'd be crazy. She has like the hairstyle. No.
Yeah, if they cast her as Captain Marvel, like
that's a casting choice no one has ever picked before.
yeah, that's one we haven't heard before, and we just thought about like at the end of the movie.
But I will say this: like speaking of Marvel, Chris Hemsworth, his comedy chops, his like line delivery is getting better in my opinion. Each movie he's in with comedy.
Yeah, definitely.
That's basically it for Ghostbusters though. Overall, what would you give like a rating for Ghostbusters?
Oh, there's one more thing we need to talk about with Ghostbusters: the cameos.
Oh, the cameos.
Like they weren't even like clever, or they just kind of didn't do anything for the movie.
The cameos didn't like blow me away.
Yeah, like spoiler alert, it's not gonna be a big deal though. Basically, most of the cameos were just old cast members from the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah, if you were a fan of the original Ghostbusters, right?
But see, and like the characters they played, like they obviously weren't their characters from the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So it just kind of felt disappointing that they don't like mention the previous movies.
It's like it's forgotten.
Like I think Bill Murray's character had the most like screen time out of all the cameos.
Which we don't want to spoil much, but like if you're a fan of the original, like a huge fan, some of these cameos might make you mad. Like I don't know.
Yeah, like Bill Murray's cameo, like it didn't like he wasn't his character from the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And yeah.
If I had to give this movie a rating, the Ghostbusters reboot gets a 7 out of 10 for me. It's pretty decent. It's pretty forgettable. Like Jeremy John says, it's a good time if you're drunk. What about you?
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10?
It had some good moments, but the most important things, like the story, just were forgettable. Yeah. There were some like funny lines too, some kind of cringeworthy, I guess.
Ghostbusters, it doesn't suck. This breaking news.
It's definitely better than Ghostbusters 2.
2? See,
nowhere near better.
As a person that has personally never watched the original Ghostbusters.
You've never seen the original Ghostbusters?
1 or 2.
That's probably why you liked it. Way more than I did.
There you go.
So, okay, there it is.
It's like there's nothing original to this movie. Is that right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so there it is. There's your example there.
Yeah.
If you didn't see the originals, you probably will like it more than the fans that were like super pissed and like spam the trailers with dislikes.
Like a person like me, personally, I would like to see sequels to this. Keep it going. What are your thoughts? I don't know. As a fan that watched the originals, that's just my take on it.
I mean, they're gonna do a sequel.
Definitely,
you know it.
It makes money.
Like, I mean, if it doesn't make a lot of money, which I doubt it, because our theater is pretty full.
Going into this movie, the controversy surrounding it. When you walk in, your expectations are basically low for the mass general audience. But you walk out, you're like, it's all right. It's a good summer blockbuster.